Hello, and welcome to the How to Taxes for U.S. Expats video series, brought to you by MyExpatTaxes. You're probably watching because you relate to one of the following two scenarios. Or this. Well, whichever one it is, this video is all about the deadlines you need to know for when it's time to file your taxes as a U.S. expat. Now, keep in mind, the deadlines in this video are based off of a typical tax year, without some sort of pandemic or alien invasion occurring. Yeah, you probably still have to file your taxes, even if aliens take over. The first deadline you want to mark in your calendar is April 15th. You want to pay any taxes you might owe as an American living outside of the US by this date. But as a US expat, typically you won't owe any taxes. Usually, the only people who owe US taxes are those that have an income that's being generated in the US and is above the standard deduction. And you've likely already paid that on your W-2. Apart from this, you'll likely only need to pay if you have unearned foreign income that is subject to US taxation. For example, you'll owe taxes on the capital gains if you've sold properties in other countries that are not taxed there due to local tax benefits. And if you're one of these lucky people, you digital nomads, don't go thinking you can avoid the whole tax thing. You've still got that US self-employment tax that you have to pay. Don't shoot the messenger, it's just a fact. Venting is allowed in the comments though. And don't make me remind you of the late payment penalties you're gonna get for avoiding this stuff. But if you haven't been filing, you can get caught up penalty-free using the Streamlined filing procedure with MyExpatTaxes. Watch this video for more info. So, if you don't need to pay taxes, you don't need to file until June 15th, since US expats get an automatic 2-month filing extension. This is your tax day if you're living outside of the US. Oh, and if you feel like you won't make the deadline, you've got until October 15th to file for an extension, but you have to file for the extension by June 15th. And you can file for that extension with MyExpatTaxes completely free. Go to File My Return and then hit the File Your Extension option. Then you'll fill out some basic information and give your consent for us to file your extension for you. And we'll take care of the rest. Now let's say you file for a deadline and you still feel like you're not going to make the October 15th deadline. Well, then you're pretty much fantastically failing at this process. At this point, you can file until December 15th if you file for another extension, but you can't simply file for another extension online. You will need to write a letter and send it off to the IRS. Yep, the old-fashioned way, which is not such a problem unless you have some shame-ridden secret addiction to licking stamps that you've been keeping under wraps for the last 10 years. And the letter needs to reach the IRS by October 15th. I'm not sure why I just did that. Here's what you'll need in your letter. A, which tax return or documents you need to file and which year or tax period you're requesting an extension for. B, a reason why the IRS should grant you the extension until December 15th. And no, not the dog ate my taxes. A valid reason could be that it takes time to collect expense and income documents to prepare your tax return. Just be honest and make sure that your reason applies to your situation and it should all work out. It's crucial that you come across as confident and as a conscientious and responsible taxpayer. Send your letter off to this address. And don't forget to use some nice stationery with hearts on it to soften that IRS crowd right up. No, that won't help. So, to recap, if you owe the IRS tax money, then you need to file by April 15th. This is the typical tax day in the US. But if you don't owe the IRS money, which you probably don't as a US expat living abroad, then you need to file by June 15th. If you need to file an extension, do it by June 15th. Then you have until October 15th. If you still can't make it by October 15th, then you just write up a letter, send it over to the IRS, and try and buy some time until December 15th. And that's another how-to taxes for US expats for today, folks. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us some questions in the comments because we love a little tax talk in the comments.